Hello and welcome to ALB UK Television, The Big Question. In this programme, we ask prominent Albanians big questions about their lives, their careers, and what they want to see in Britain today. So I start with the Albanian ambassador to London, Alb Uk, and asked him several questions about what is his policy and about his life as well. Here comes the interview. Mr. Ambassador, thank you so much for giving me a few minutes of your time tonight in English. So my first question is, as a young boy growing up in Tirana, did you ever think you would meet the Queen, and did you ever think you'd be in a television studio tonight?
Well, first of all, Mr. Turner, first of all, I would like to thank you for having me today, and for being interviewed like a personality like you. It's always an honor and special pleasure. Well, when I was a young boy, I never thought that I would have the opportunity to visit UK, because, as you know, for a long time during the dictatorship period, Albania have been for 45 years the most isolated country in Europe, like, let's say, of North Korea nowadays. So at that time, when I was young, we didn't dare to think about the opportunity to visit this country and to have the opportunity to meet the Queen. But for me, as ambassador and as a diplomat, it was a great honor and pleasure to present my country in UK. And I will never forget, like all my colleagues, that when I presented the credential to the Queen, it was an unforgettable moment in my career, because I always remember her beautiful eyes, blue eyes, always carefully, full of positive energy, talking about bilateral relation, encouraging my country to go in the path that we have started, in the path of Euro-Atlantic integration, which is the only way that Albania can be part of the common family in the future.
Yeah. So let me just take you back to your early days. So you went into the University of Tirana and you studied law. But did you already have in your head the thought of working within government, and especially foreign departments within your government? Was that really the focus when you first started?
No. After I was graduated in juridical science, we call, I used to work for 5 years in the office of District Attorney of Tirana. Yeah. And then in a certain moment, I had the opportunity to apply for work, let's say, in the Foreign Service. Yes. And so in September '91, I joined the Foreign Service, and from that time I'm part of this.
Was it always an interest of yours, the Foreign Service, anyway? Was that one of the things that captivated your interest?
Yes, it was. I mean, for every person that have been graduated in political or juridical science, I mean, one of the opportunities is one of the chances, is to be part of Foreign Service.
And I know coming forward now, your government has already put into place and is putting into place a series of reforms to create more business opportunities, more trade between our two countries. Can you just explain a little bit more about what you're doing?
Well, thank you very much for your question, because especially in this year, we have two specific moments that show the increasing interest of UK towards the Western Balkans. In February this year, the House of Lords adopted a report for the first time, I think, for the Western Balkans. Also, in the eve of London Summit in July, the House of Commons have adopted also another report. In both reports, they show the importance of the relation UK and Western Balkans, especially in the report of July. The House of Commons, the Foreign Commission, asked the Foreign Office to prepare a strategy to increase the economic presence of UK in the region, because unfortunately the exchanges between 6 Western Balkan countries and UK are still in modest level, let's say. Because referring to the data of the first report, in 1 year there are import-export between Western Balkans and the UK is in the level of 1.2 billion pounds. 800 million only with Macedonia, the rest with other 5 countries. So we think that Brexit is an opportunity for this country to discover also other area of interest like the Western Balkans, because in Western Balkans now there is a positive and stable climate, good relation between countries, good infrastructures in all Western Balkan countries, young population and very well educated, good opportunity to do business in tourism, in all spheres. So Western Balkan, I think, is an area that should be discovered from the British company. Of course, it's not a huge market, but is a market with opportunities that, yes.
And I know that part of the Albanian policy for the future is to turn the country into one of the go-to places on the Mediterranean now for tourism. So can you just tell me a little bit more about the types of experiences people could have in your country for tourism?
Well, I'm glad to say that now Albania is becoming, especially this year, is becoming an important, touristic place in the region. I can say that this year Albania have been visited by 6 million tourists. I'm glad to say that the number of British citizens who visited my country this year was increased 32%.
Really?
So it's a nice data, it's a nice promotion, because everybody that visited my country, they found the same sun and sea like yes. Italy and Greece, the same food like Italy, but 5 times cheaper. I mean, nice people and very friendly. Everybody that have visited my country can confirm it.
And I've read that the government as well, for investors in tourism in your country, there's some sort of an insurance scheme now to actually help support the investment?
Absolutely. The government is encouraging the investment in the field of tourism, especially, let's say, the so-called elite tourism. Because for the moment there is this kind of massive tourism, but the government was focused on this elite tourism. That's why in the beginning of this year, the parliament, the Albanian parliament, adopted a law in basis of which every individual or company who invests in 4 or 5-star hotel or resorts, they will work for the next 10 years free of taxes.
Really? Really? And I know you had a recent British-Albanian Chamber of Commerce meeting, and you were talking about the different opportunities, re-energizing the energy, I think you called it, and so things like mining, tourism, infrastructure, agriculture, and transportation. Can you just give a little brief insight into the types of programs that are now possible with Albanian and for British investment money to come in?
So, as I told, Albania, of course, is a small market, but with a lot of opportunities. Albania maybe is the only country in the region that all the energetic system is based on hydro. So 100% of our energy is coming from clean and pure energy like hydro energy. In the meantime, the government is trying to diversify the energetic system, especially for the solar and wind energy. Because, as I told you, before Albania have more than 280 days or 300 days with sun.
Really?
So it is an opportunity to invest in solar energy, which is an area still which need a lot of investment and a lot of opportunity to invest there. Also, wind energy is another opportunity. And so we are welcoming all the investors that would like to invest. In the meantime, Albania is rich in all kinds of minerals. So it's another area of interest for investment.
Absolutely, and I'm sure British businesses are taking that on board even as we speak. British people like to know a little bit about you as well. So I noticed that you list amongst your interests sport and music. So tell me, what type of things do you really enjoy?
Well, referring to the UK, you know, music is something that have overcome our tough dictatorship. So the beautiful songs, British songs, have overcome even this very, very rigid isolation. So the British singers, the British artists, the British football players.
You like that?
Yes, absolutely. My generation, but not only my generation. Now a lot of Albanians are fan of British team, and you know, we consider it as part of our bilateral relation, let's say.
Excellent. And just a final question. What is really your wish during your tenure here? What would you really like to be able to sort of say, I've put my stamp on that personally?
Well, I would like very much to present Albania as best as possible in the country. Of course, the ambassador is only one person, the embassy is, let's say, 5 persons. But in the meantime, we have a huge community of Albanians living here that are very well integrated. Let me say that now in UK we have more or less 600 people working in the city of London. There are 42 academics from Albania. There are more than 1,200 businesses running by the Albanians in UK. So the Albanians are very well integrated thanks to the opportunity that this system, all the governments have offered to them. So I'm glad that, I repeat always, we are grateful to UK policy, UK government for this opportunity that offered to my citizen. And just a small remark regarding the Albanians that sometimes violate the rules. So I don't want to justify them, but because of UK as an excellent country to live, for the same reason the Italian, the French, the Germans are coming here for a better life, for the same reason
of course.
Are coming also Albanians. They're not criminals. They are people that are looking for a better life. But sometimes, you know, media destroy a little bit the image.
I mean, I think you're exactly right. Personally, I've embraced the Albanian community. I love the culture. Recently, we were both at the talent show. And for me, it reminded me of when I was being brought up in the 1950s. The children were very polite. The parents were very attentive. The whole culture, I have to say, from my perspective towards Albanians, is they are very welcoming, very friendly, and able to really create tremendous professionalism. Within the ALB TV station here, it's the most professional station I think I've worked in for a long time. So I can totally, really, from my end, support Albanian community in Britain, and thank you again for giving me some of your time tonight.
May I continue?
Yes, yes.
So, I would like to thank you, and I hope the Albanian citizen here could give a good example of the Albanian value to present the Albanian values here in UK, because as you know, Albania is a country of excellent religion tolerance.
Yes.
So mostly in Albania there are three religions: Muslim, Christian Catholic and Christian Orthodox. But historically all this religion and the people representing this religion have been always in perfect harmony between them. We have had always mixed marriages,
yes.
So never been problem of division between religions. So tolerance is something that the Albanians are carrying in their
yes.
DNA,
yes.
And we hope that they can contribute and bring here a good example. On the other hand, there is a great ethnic tolerance.
Yes.
Of course, Albania, 98% of the country is living by the Albanians, but in meantime we have Greek and Slavic minority which live in perfect harmony, and
yes.
and especially the respect for the foreigner. You know, in Albania we have a code of honor, let's say, called BESA,
yes.
which means that the Albanians are responsible to protect and to protect the foreigners. So the example is the presence of Jewish during the Second World War.
Absolutely.
The number of Jewish in Albania after the Second World War was 10 times higher than this number before the war. So no one Jewish was delivered to the Germans during the Second World
Absolutely.
War. And we have excellent examples of this, let's say, fraternity between Muslim Albanians
Absolutely.
and the Jewish people who used to live in Albania during the Second World War.
Absolutely. And I think, for my part, and I think from a lot of British people who know Albanians, we can learn a lot from the Albanian culture. I really do. I think it's the most wonderful group of people. I hope you're very proud. I'm very proud to know Albanians. And I think that the reality these days is I would embrace more Albanians coming in, because I just feel that the community that is in Britain brings tremendous value to Britain as well.
Well, I will take this opportunity to invite all the people that are listening, following this program, to visit my country, because when they visit, when they see this beautiful place, when they meet the Albanians, I mean, things will be, they will have other impression from the country and for Albanian people. So thank you very much for this opportunity.
Well, thank you for your time tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello and welcome to another edition of The Big Question on ALB TV UK. Today I am talking to the Minister of Tourism for Albania, Blendi Klose, and asking him the vital questions about how does he see Albanian tourism happening in the future at a very noisy world travel market in London. Sir, thank you so much for talking to us this afternoon. I know it's a very busy schedule for you and it's packed. I can see the stand is packed with people very interested in Albania. Can you tell me a little bit about what is the opportunities for people from Britain who want to go to Albania for a holiday?
Yeah, there are so many chances right now with the new progress that Albania has made toward the European family and towards more for the standards that the European family is requesting in like the security country, like the safety, the welcome country, and also with so much more even new investment in the sector of the tourism. Albania right now is really one of the last secret in the Balkan and last even opportunity in the Mediterranean weather. And so we are receiving very good numbers of the tourism. In 2017, there's been 5 million foreign tourists entering in Albania, but for 2018 we are receiving around 6 million, so more than 20% than the year before, which shows that the interest of the foreigners to visit Albania is increasing so much. And even the number of the British people who enter in Albania in the last year compared to the current year is more higher. So that's a big sign that we are ready to enter in this market. That also because the biggest tour operators in the world, especially the Thomas Cook and TUI, have opened the Albanian like the new destination. And even with the other tour operators which are working right now in Europe, Albania is becoming like the new destination. But for that, for sure, we need to change the image of Albania to trying to help all our friends and all our, let's say, supporters of Albania to enter in the Albanian market, and also to find a way that how we can create a better climate for the foreign investor in the sector of tourism. For that, we have changed the law of the tourism, and we put in this new law one of the most interesting package of the fiscal assistance to the sector of the tourism. So for the investment in the tourism sector in Albania, and especially in the high-ended hotels, so 4 and 5 branded, European branded hotels, the tax system is almost zero for the 10 years, which is a very good sign, and we are receiving a lot of interest from the different foreign investors who want to invest in Albania, but also from these bigger tour operators which trying to see Albania like one new destination. But okay, we are also trying to create this new European destination, and to be like that we need to change so many rules, but more than the rules and more than the laws, we need to change even the attitude of the Albanian community and the Albanian society, just not only to welcome the tourists, but even to create more capacity, like for training people, professionals, educated staff. And for that we are going all around, like we are here in London, to meet the biggest player of this game, but even to meet more Albanian community, which right now is, let's say, even in Britain is so in big numbers, but all over Europe there are so many Albanians which are right now ready to come back in the country, and not only for, let's say, this big philosophy of the 4 and 5-star hotels, but even to create more opportunity in the agro-tourism and development in the rural area, which is very important for us, because Albania is a unique destination, not only because of the beauty of the beach, but also is very unique destination even for the countryside. So the combination of these two is our main challenge.
I know as well a lot of focus is what we call elite tourism as well. So what type of things can people with lots of money see in Albania today?
Thanks our, let's say, position in the Mediterranean, we are, let's say, a new destination. And thanks to this good position that we have, even within a very well-known destination like the Adriatic area and all Mediterranean is, we really have so many opportunities. And based on the law which we have in Albania, based in strategic law, the foreign investors which are coming to invest a certain amount of money, which goes to the standard of the 4 and 5-star hotel, can receive all the support from this strategic investment law, the protection by law, the support for finding the land owned by state or even private sector, but with more secured by the state, even the infrastructure be created by the state. And like I mentioned, for them which are investing in 5-star hotel, even we offer zero taxation for 10 years. We have tried to put this, let's say, package of the fiscal assistance because we really believe that with new investment in this sector, Albania can increase easily the standard of the tourism that we offer in the country.
How would you like to see Albanian tourism in the future? What is your vision?
Our challenge is to go to 10 million tourists in the coming years. With the increased number that we have and the figures that we have, we can receive this 10 million even in the beginning of the new decade. So in the beginning of years 2020, 21, 22, we can achieve this number. But maybe it's better to wait a little bit more, because I and the government of Albania don't want to see Albania like a cheap destination. We want to create a better understanding that Albania can be developed even with respect of and taking care for the mistake that the others has made in our region, just to be careful and not to go and destroy the destination. So we are trying to see carefully what are the mechanisms that you need to put in place to create in Albania a real European touristic destination with three very important rules. First is the quality of the service and not to allow this request for more tourism to destroy the quality. Secondly is hospitality. We want really to be like we are, very welcome country, peaceful, peace, and also smiling country, everybody smiles in Albania. And thirdly, which is also very important, is to want to be able to invite, like I mentioned even before, the foreign investor to invest in the country and to create the better and let's say really high-ended hotels and the European standard of the accommodation.
I've been very impressed with Albania myself. I've only just recently started working with the television station, but Albanians have taken me to their heart. So I find the Albania culture wonderful. And I'm due to be going to Albania next month anyway for our first. So what would you say, what are the things I should look out for a first time going to Albania?
Yeah, like the new visitors, you for sure need to visit the very important cultural heritage that we have in the country. We have a lot to show from our history, from a century that has created. The beauty of the nature of Albania is also extremely beautiful, and it's beautiful like the God has created. So we have a countryside of Albania, like the mountains, like lakes, rivers. We have everything, forest, protected, natural protected parks, which really are something that if you are for the first time in Albania, you need to visit that. We have made a very interesting project thanks to the idea of the Prime Minister Edi Rama for creating in Albania in all cities this new entire city. And right now you can visit any of the city of Albania and you'll find for sure one very good city and European one. And something that you really don't need to miss in Albania is to test our culinary. The food in Albania is extremely good, and so I hope that you'll enjoy that.
Thank you. Just one last question. At the moment, the cost of flights to Albania is quite expensive. Is the government looking at anything like this at all?
Yeah, we know this problem, but which is the problem that we are facing. And the government is taking care so hardly to create more infrastructure in tourism. So from one airport, we are under negotiation with 3 more airports in Albania, 2 in south and 1 in north, which create more chances and even competition amongst the different companies which are operating in this sector in Albania. So with the new investment in this sector, we can create a better perspective of the Albanian, let's say, tourism in general. And the beauty of Albania is that we can offer tourism which goes 365 days a year. So it's unbelievable, beautiful Albania, even out of the season.
Ministers, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you very much, sir. And you are welcome in Albania.
Hello and welcome to the latest edition of ALB UK Television's The Big Question. Today I'm talking to Petar Ritsa of VOS DMC, who is in a very famous rock group in Albania called Jumet as well. He was the drummer. So I'm drumming up some new questions on what does he see as the future of tourism. Good afternoon. Thank you for talking to us this afternoon. Tell me a little bit about what your company actually does.
Welcome to our desk, first of all. Actually, we are VOS Group. We operate as a DMC for the Central Europe. And part of VOS Group, we had also Altours, which is a DMC for the Balkans. Actually, the first time now we are operating in the World Trade market as an individual desk here booth, because our interest and aim is globally to represent Europe and Balkan, which is a part of Europe. So far, our company has experienced long, since 25 years now. And then we are so pleased that tourism is growing in the region, and a lot of demand and interest to visit the Balkan, which is one of the regions which really represent one of the oldest civilizations in Europe. That's why our team, which is very professional, and we are all convinced that improving and representing as a region, first of all, is make people bringing together, and also they're bringing and strengthening the economy of the region.
Just for our listeners as well, just explain, what does DMC mean?
DMC means that we are the management, we are corporate. Basically, we represent all this management during the tourism travel industry. Basically, when we are the tour operator, we represent, then we provide the ground supplies, operation, hotel accommodation, transportation, restaurant, professional guide. Basically, we are fully, all the department deal with it from the beginning to the end.
What do you put down to the increase in tourism to Albania itself? Do you see new things happening? What's happening on the ground?
In the ground is actually, you know, I can tell, and we are so proud that especially Albania, which actually they have some heritage from the communist period. After the democracy, there's also a lot of change, a lot of dynamic changes in Albania. Itself, Albania will provide a lot of opportunity for the economy because there's a lot of potential, and then it's very rich. I can tell that Albania is among the richest countries in Europe with a very old cultural heritage, with thousands and thousands years. If you compare a lot of history, and we have a very strong tradition in our society and community, and also the packages of tour which we provide to the clients is very wealthy, very rich. Start from the cultural heritage, culture tour, a religious tour. We do like a wine tour, hiking and biking, which the latest couple of years start to implement via Dinarica Peak of Balkans. And then because of the very strategic position, and the combination with culture tour, nature, history and seaside, plus gastronomy on top of it, make really valuable and very good program for all needs of the clients of tourists from all around the world.
Now, I know the Albanian government is now putting one emphasis on elite tourism. What does that mean to you, and what's really the focus from your end on elite tourism?
Yeah, it is very important because normally it's until now we have some individual efforts and investment of the private companies or personality or the people of the Albania itself, which they saw that opportunity that working in travel industry and tourism, it helped them to have some income and then to make more employees. So basically as a tourism, which is almost tourism is the third globally business, it's with the latest with the government of Albania, it helped because it's like umbrella. When we have a big umbrella and very safety, so we all together, we bring together and we work to implement to the program, because this is very complex tourism. It's complex destination actually, or economy or business, because it's related with accommodation, with transportation, infrastructure, and then marketing of the people, and so all together we bring, and when we work, especially with backup of the government, is very crucial, because we need globally to promote as much we can region Albania and neighboring country, because everything is close, it's like a puzzle, everything is related with each other.
And I know the Albanian government have been passing new laws, for example, for investors into tourism especially, and then underwriting some of their costs. What do you think of that?
I think it's amazing, because Albania itself, they need some experience from outside, from people, especially diaspora, which are very strong in United Kingdom or United States or Italy or other countries, like Albanians who live and work there. They have opportunity to invest in Albania. Also internationals who has a lot of experience, and we have so many cases when some tourists or some citizens from United States, we have a couple of ladies, opened the guest house in north part of Albania in Thesi. That was amazing, because when they retire, they open like guest house. They promote, actually, they create very good business. In environment is very amazing, is healthy, and then hospitality of the people, gastronomy, it bring them to feel in that period very comfortable and nice. So basically, the opportunity for investors is huge. On top of it, if you consider that Albania and region of Kosovo as well is a very wealth soil with natural resources, and we saw like a lot of opportunity for everyone. And we are so happy that this is going daily in much more progress.
And I know as well the new phrase is to become the go-to place in the Mediterranean now. for Albania. How do you feel about that?
About
The go-to place, the most important new resort to go to, the important new destination to go to for tourists?
yeah, well, the destination, if you compare like from Albania, I can tell that, you know, we've been very so lucky to live and to be born in that region, because from the north to the south, Albania itself, coastline, provide you the wild beaches and sea. It's amazing, very clean water. And then you can find in very coastline spaces which in other destination and seaside you cannot really, like fishes and seafood, which don't live in very coastline because of the pollution of the water in seaside in other countries. So Albania has the opposite. It's very clean water, and then gastronomy is very improving. And then so part of the Mediterranean, I think it represent very good. And on top of it, when you consider like rates, which are very cheap for all the travelers, it's an amazing experience.
And within your own company, Vastor, what is their vision for the future now?
Well, our vision almost, when I start to introduce in the beginning that we've been first time, actually we are participating in all the tourism fair in World Trade Market, ITB, in Japan as well, and globally. Our aim is, as I said, we now operate as a DMC for the Europe, because we want to bring Europe and to the international market, and Balkan, which is part of Europe. Actually, Balkan is a part. Even they have a name from the Ottoman Empire, but actually, all Balkans have a lot of history. Start from Roman Empire, from Byzantine, and then from Ottoman Empire. So that's why globally we are growing, and the team of the shareholders, and they have very good sense. And then we work as a team in order to be on first league of the promoting and implementing as a business tourism.
Now, I'm coming to visit Albania next month for a few days. So this is my first time. So what are the things I really must see in Albania?
Well, everything start. First of all, what you will face is always, we said in Albanians, we are proud that we say our religion, it's being Albanian, because we have a very strong tradition. Customer service, if you convert in international, in Western country, it's mean customer service. So we have built in within our society and culture. So customer service is very strong point. And then you can start to visit, you can start from the north. When you go to the Thet, it's amazing, it's paradise on earth. If you like some hiking, moderate hiking, we can do for 1 or 2 days. And then we can go down, and then spend some time in the beaches, and then go to the Kruja, and then to Leja to visit the tomb of Skanderbeu, which is national hero. And then the role of the Skanderbeu is very crucial for Europe, because he was defending Europe from Ottoman Empire, and his role is amazing. I think all people will know this role, because he support and Christianity. And it was a very important role. And then visited Thomas Skanderbeu, and then Tirana, Bunker, Bunk Art as well. And then is a museum in Tirana in the very heart, which you will see our heritage, who are Albanian today. Start from Pelasgi, Illyrians, and then you see all these maps, personalities, start from the Bato, from the Piro, from and different other personalities, and Mother Teresa as well. So all these personalities belong to our culture. And then go to the south, you have so many wild beaches, and Vlora, Saranda, so many places. And I will suggest you, if you want more private to spend time in the small wild region beaches, go with a small ship and stay overnight in the tent, do some fishing, do some barbecue in the night, have nice palmed wine, and try our virgin olive oil and our traditional food as well, because we have a lot of history in gastronomy. You can also visit restaurants, Mrizizanave, before when you leave like Shkodra. and then Mulingiu, so many restaurants, so many things to visit in Albania. And what is the more convenience, which always I say to the tourists that visiting Albania, Kosovo, that region is very convenient because it's very close from one point to another point. You don't need to travel 3-4 hours to visit something. So everything, 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers, 20, you visit something where one experience, you go to another experience, a lot of experience. And for sure, you will come back very soon for second time and third time. But not just you, bring friends and family or whatever.
I will indeed. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon.
I appreciate it so much because I know that you are fluent and I'm so happy. And then we need a lot of motor promotion of the region, and I appreciate so much all the articles written about the region, about Albania, the culture. I think it's very important because we've been in history a little bit, so we didn't have so much information about, because Albania was closed, Kosovo was under Yugoslav Federation, but things are changing and tourism brings people together.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I just really would like to ask you a question. What type of interest are you getting from people about Albania? What are the types of things that they're really looking for when they're coming to Albania?
I mean, here in World Travel Market, London exhibition, we have had contact and partnership from all over the world, and it's a place where all the professionals come and meet together. Albania is a new destination, and everybody is willing to know more and more about Albania, history, and this part of puzzle in Europe undiscovered yet, which is very well known now, for especially for the seaside coastline, Adriatic and the Ionian part of Mediterranean, and as well for traditional cuisine, traditional culture, way of living. And after 50 years of communism, isolation, we have a lot to be discovered for such a country in the middle of Europe, now easily to be accessed with airlines, British Airlines and other companies that are doing flights to Albania. But the majority of them are looking for general information, general tourism, and as well another question which for me it's stupid, if it's safe or not to come in Albania. However, that question now it's very easy to give an answer, because we have had a lot of happy and return customers, clients coming again and again in Albania.
So I'm coming to Albania for the first time next month. What would be the one thing I shouldn't miss? What's the one attraction I should really go and see?
For the first time, if you're coming to Albania, I would say the best thing is the capital, Tirana, and Kruja, Durrës, this triangle of 3 cities that can be visited in a weekend, and very much interesting to discover antiquity. Like Port of Durrës is one of the oldest port in Adriatic coastline, and it is a hub of Via Egnatia Road, the port where it all begins, the Via Egnatia and Silk Road trade, production goods, production caravans. We have a 20,000-seat amphitheater in Durrës, which is about 30 kilometers away from our capital, and then taste good wine, and as well the castle of Kruja, 30 kilometers to be visited from Tirana. It belongs to medieval time and to our national hero Skanderbeg, which is well and very good preserved, with old bazaar, things to buy from medieval time, and everything handmade from the local villages. And as well, Tirana is a cosmopolitan city where everybody can find himself. We have a lot of restaurants to be visited and taste different cuisine, and beautiful nature. People are very welcoming, and something about related to religion, I would say we are a very open country to all aspects regarding beliefs in God and religions. We are 80% Muslim, but for example, I am a Muslim and I eat pork and I drink wine, and the 50% of Muslims are like me, yes, are open-minded because we are Pelesian. And Pelesians are a culture and people who believes in different gods, and they live their life, and it doesn't matter, but they have a spiritual and beliefs whenever they want to believe in a stone, in a water, in sun. So everybody is free to enjoy the nature as it is.
Well, you've sold Albania to me. I wish I could go tomorrow, but I'm coming next month. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for everything and promoting our country.
Thank you.